What's going on, everybody? This is Out Our Podcast. I'm here with.
D. Smith, your financial coach. I used to say financial educator, but I didn't change it up since I got my YouTube channel.
What's
Check
your
me
YouTube
out,
channel?
Dioneedra Smith.
Ooh.
Yes.
And you just started that this year, right?
Yes, I did. I did.
So something that I wanted to start doing, an idea came in mind. I was like, let me do something new. So what I want to start is something that we admire about each other. I'm gonna go first.
Okay.
I admire that you had the patience and had the strength to make sure that your family was brought up the way that you wanted to be. So you did all the sacrificing, all the weighing what's better, what you should do, what you shouldn't do. Like having that amount of patience, I think that's underrated. And in the man's world, coming from the outlook from a woman perspective, and we don't give y'all praises enough. But I admire that about you.
Oh, thank you, thank you. I think what that comes from is a lesson from how you were brought up. You know, so how I was brought up, viewing my experience from the opposite sex, and just the way that I seen my kids being, you know. So I took some good, took some bad, and mixed it up to my own, and then that's what I went by. So self-experience, things I said I wasn't going to do or instill in you, and things that stood out to me that said I'm going to be different. So in other words, you know, just breaking generation curses and outlooks and things like that. And then people always saying, you know, being that statistic of a teenage mom. I wasn't a teenager, but society says, you know, you're not old enough to be having kids at this age. So I took all of that and was like, no, this is not going to be me. Because, you know, I had to stop school, that sacrifice to raise you, come home to raise you, but it was not my end. You know what I'm saying? It didn't define me. Like, yeah, I know that's so cliche, but that didn't define who I was because I got pregnant, you know. So it only defined who I am now. And so the sacrifice and all of that just came into it. And so, thank you.
Yeah,
so, let me tell you what I admire about you. Yes. Then you want me to tell you. So I admire the fact that you listen. That is so important. I don't care what age you are, because you still learning about who you are, about life, about people. If you just listen to other people, their situations, and respect where they come from, and you, as long as you take something out of it, you know what I'm saying? You get something out of it, and they could be totally wrong. But if you can just understand why they think that, even if you don't agree, just listen, you know? Because you don't know where they come from. So their viewpoint is different than yours, but at the same time, you listening. You know what I'm saying? You being open. Now, don't get me wrong. You know when stuff is crazy, but at the same time, I admire that you listen to others and you get something out of stuff. So your personality, you know, is good to where you can meet other people and get something from everybody. And then you make your decision, and it defines who you are and who you're becoming.
Thank you. So we got that out the way. And,
you made it seem like this was a hurdle.
No, it just I just wanted to start inserting that because I don't think in a family, we let someone know what's going on in our mind.
And how we feel about
Yeah,
each
how
other.
we feel about each other.
Right.
So
That's a good
I was
thing.
like, I want to bring that on there, and hopefully, whoever watching or listening, they bring that in their household as well.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And I really want this podcast to be based upon what made you like go more into detail of what you saw 18 years in me. Who did you see? Like, how do you properly? Of course, it's not a how-to manual to how to be a parent.
Right.
But what are 5 things that you knew, that 5 lessons that you knew that I was going to understand the concept out of?
Okay, so I guess because of I am a sucker for love. Before I knew about having kids, because of course I told you once before that I didn't want kids until I was 30, right? Because I had the idea of doing my time watching A Different World and wanted that experience on college life. So looking at that and where I came from and what we didn't have, and always our lights was off, gas was off, and all this basic necessities that we didn't have growing up, I knew number one that I was not going to be that parent. I knew that my kids was going to always have the basic things, you know, and understand that they didn't have to go through what I went through. But thank God I did, because that's, you know, of course, made me who I am. Two, I also knew that because I read a lot of romantic novels, and I guess us as women, it is instilled in us that this is a perfect man that's gonna swoop you up and, you know, take you off on this white horse or whatever, and you live happily ever after. Well, of course, that man doesn't exist because of what they went through and stuff. So I just felt like, as part of me being a mother to a son, it was my job to, I would say, mold you into this perfect man that I wanted, if that makes sense. And I thought about me having that first love experience was my dad. So as growing up, I was always under my daddy. Love my daddy, because that's the relationship with daughters and fathers. You know, that's your first encounter of the opposite sex. So that was my first love. So having a son, I knew as a woman that I was going to be your first love. So my job was to show you from a woman's perspective of how women love the opposite sex. You know what I'm saying? Also, so that was what I knew that I was going to instill in you. So my job was to nurture you into that. And then also being young enough and old enough at the same time to know when you hit teenage stage that you was going to change. And them hormones was going to kick in. And you were going to be girl crazy. And I thought about this the other night. It was so funny. I don't know why. But, you know, of course, as you get older, you know, giving mama a kiss in the mouth changed from the lips to the cheek. And you went from the lips to the cheek to the forehead, you know. And as a mother, be like, oh, you know your baby is growing up when you getting forehead kisses or, you know, different things. So, and that's okay. But at the same time, now you starting to have a different relationship, and it started to change to where, okay, now this is what I need to be instilling in him now, because he's a young man now. So here's where the other responsibilities come in. You already have responsibilities, and part of those lessons always build up to, can you keep up with stuff? So, you know, you get the key to the house. You know what I'm saying? How many times you going to lose the key? And then once you lose it, boom, that become a lesson, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So you have to learn how to keep up with stuff. You don't
Sidetrack. You remember? You remember when I used to break? I don't know if you know. I used to break inside the house.
Yeah, yeah. That's what I'm saying. You always lost your keys. Coolio kept up with his for some odd reason. You know, y'all was out. I had to climb through the window. You know what I'm saying? So those type of things, you still had to get development. You still get on. You weren't gonna get a key. You know what I'm saying? The next time you lose it, you're not gonna get a key. You're just gonna be sitting outside, and then that's when I got to lock all the windows and stuff. You be like, you know, you got to just have those lessons and think. It's funny how sometimes you get away with it and think you didn't outsmarted your parents, and then they turn around and outsmart you if they paying attention. But you were one of the kids you have to always outsmart. You always have to think ahead and do things in front of you, or you would. But this, you know, you will always try to say, "But Mama, what about this?" No, why? You know what I'm saying? So I try not to do that because I'm mom or because I say so. So I have to really get to the reason of why, or you know, make it seem like it's impossible for you to get your way in that situation. So those type of things right there, and it all depends on the type of child you are too. You know what I'm saying? You could know that from the beginning, if I'm gonna instill things in you, just from reading books, they tell you from 1 to 3, you know, that's when a kid absorbs the most. So that's when you need to be instilling things in them at that age. So, funny story. Fell in love with this kid yesterday at my job. This girl was up there. She's been up there all week, and so she brought her son. And so one of my coworkers was like, "Oh, you ought to see her baby." So I goes in there, and when he moves out the way, I was, "Can I have him?" Little boy reminded me of you, little yellow boy, low haircut, and I was about to bring your picture and your outfit, and I was like, I wonder if Chase has that, and he needed to send it to me. But his name was Cash. So handsome. He was sitting in a chair with his lip poked out because his mama, you know, must have told him he better not move. And I told her, can he have a sucker? So I went and got him a sucker, and I just picked him up, and I was like, oh my God. I said, I remember my baby Chase at this age. The best age. I was like, so, he was still in diapers, of course. Because he, just like you, and she had the same exact story of how people would laugh at him because he said, yeah, ma'am, yeah, ma'am. And so when I gave her the sucker and he wouldn't say thank you, she snatched it. She said, what you thank you. You barely could talk and gave it back. And I told her, I said, I admire you for that because you don't see any young mothers that do that. And you know what she said? She said, I'm raising him exactly how my mom and grandmother raised me. And I said, that's exactly what I always tell my son. I said, you take the good and the bad and you mix it up. And she said, and I turned out fine. And I said, you know what? When you were in here yesterday, I could tell when your mama talked, you shut up. Because her mama was, you know, aggressive because she was already upset about the whole financial aid situation. But you could tell that she still had that fear in her mom. And that's what she was instilling in Cash. So, anyway, that's my good story. But those are the things and stuff that I thought about. The whole process of carrying you and things like that I seen that, hey, if I stick to this and, you know, but have a better relationship that I seen with my mom and my brother, this is, you know, what I instilled in you.
That's dope. That's dope because the reason why I'm asking that question, I was just thinking about it on the road, and I thought it would be dope for you to share.
Oh yeah.
I know your YouTube been going on. I know you've been talking for the first 10 minutes, so
Yes.
I know you want to rest your voice a little
Hey,
bit.
it's whatever. It's
So for me, what's been going on in my world? Of course, we got our pop-ups coming up.
Oh yeah.
So
How was it last week?
It was the Sunday. It was real good. It went real good. We had over to like I want to say like $3,000 in sales up there in Fayetteville.
That's
It was
what's up.
it was real dope. Noah and his girlfriend, they was able to handle and manage all that. So every sale he just texted to me and I just put it and I created a spreadsheet.
Mhm.
So I just put everything down there. Since I'm gonna be home these 2 weeks, I know I gotta go back and some old pros and cons for YouTube videos.
Mhm.
I gotta create pros and cons of being a reseller. I gotta update truck driver. I gotta update movie theater. I gotta update fast food restaurant.
Mhm.
It's a few that I've been getting questions about, but now I can go a little bit more detail since more people been asking. And
That's
then
what's up.
I'm gonna be comparing two different companies. I'm gonna I'm gonna be comparing two different like truck driver companies
Mhm.
and saying like if you go with this, here go the benefits. Go with this, here go the benefits. A lot of people been asking me about what truck driving company or who should I go for, how should I do so. It's been really dope just to have that engagement over
Right,
the road.
especially that feedback. You'll know which direction
Yeah, so
to move.
that's what been the dope thing about having that engagement on there.
Absolutely.
What else that's been going on? I think that's about it. Since I'm coming home for these 2 weeks, All Star Weekend coming up. We got a pop up this Saturday. Got another pop up the next Saturday, and I think I'm going to get out of Forex simply because I know that it's kind of like how my econ is. Even though I know I can't really get two people to sign up.
Right.
So paying that 160 for a month, I'm not really trying to pay because I know what Supreme is about to come up next.
Right.
So I can just isolate that with buying Supreme. But at the same time, I know the the apps and stuff still there. So it's not like I'm really losing it, but it's just the assets that I had with Academy
Mhm.
and paying that a month. I'm just gonna lose access in that. But since I have an understanding of what to do, I'm still gonna go that route. I'm not giving up the trading, but I'm just giving up paying that 164 a month.
Yeah, and when you find any company that's um online marketing,
Hmm.
LMN, whatever, however they want to put it, it's pretty much you always got to, get somebody to add it to your
Yeah.
team for you to do all that, for you to see your growth. But to get the educational and stuff, and I think that's why I'm still in my econ for the benefit wise
Hmm.
of how it helps. But at the same time, I mean, when you venture out and have other businesses, then you can cut that and
Yeah,
just know.
it was like your stepping stone and got you some learning. Now it's time to
Absolutely,
go.
absolutely. It's the foundation of it because it's a business. It showed that you didn't need a lot of money to start a business,
Hmm.
and it gave you the blueprint. You know what I'm saying? Of how to do your business and stuff. So yeah, that's dope.
Yeah, so
I'm taking this word, y'all. That's dope.
yeah, so I'm gonna go out of that, and then what else coming up? We got in March we're going to LA, so I'm pretty excited to go to the West Coast um, around September, of course for your birthday. But I'll be here. I'm gonna reach out to Bridget tomorrow, see what's her schedule like next week, and go over to where her business is at, so I can give her the paper that she had me print out and sign and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So in April I'll be coming home. So it's been more so just gearing up of just coming home and repositioning myself of what I've been what I've been doing since I know my cap of how much money that I'm making just as a truck driver, but what I could make of just coming home is
Right.
a little bit more. It's like $2 more. Like I didn't really pay attention, but on any given day, it's like almost like $15 an hour. But like, of course, you have some certain days where you're gonna get two loads, and it's gonna be take this extra load, but it's not. It don't happen as often.
Right.
So on average, it's still $15 an hour. But since I know the maximum is still 3,500, it's just like it's time to be uncomfortable again. So not saying that driving a manual is gonna be hard, but doing it consistent is just gonna be one of those things of I'm not gonna be in that comfortable mode of I'm driving an automatic.
Right.
So
just something else to overcome.
yeah, and then it's gonna be just gonna be dope just to be home and work towards that. And then we growing and we get more recognition out here for vacant places. So more pop-ups gonna be going on and things like that. So if there's a way that I can have Saturdays off for the pop-up and stuff like that and going for shoe releases on Saturdays, I'm very excited about that.
Cool. What about your English learning? Yes.
So that's been going pretty so.
Do you need me to print you out some lessons?
I realized that when I overthink, it's been me. And by me overthinking, wanting to say a lot, it's been me the whole time. So from reading, I stepped away from reading a lot. So that kind of hurt. It kind of hurt me in a sense. So I'm back to reading more and reading out loud to make sure that I focus and I get on a pattern and learning sentence structures and pronunciation with words. So I realized it was just a me thing, and that's what I realized. So
Did it feel like when you got your braces, you definitely could?
I still can't get my W's and R's down pat because it's still like I'm cutting myself. It just I don't know. It just
give me an example. What you can't say?
Like let me see. I still have a hard time saying vulnerable. Yeah. Yeah, I still have a hard time saying that.
Vulnerable.
Yeah, VULNERABLE. I have a hard time with that. Sometimes with back-to-back R's or W's, like warm and warm. Like I can say it now because I ain't really thinking about it, but just
and it
trying
sounds
to
like you can adjust it.
I am.
So you can really hear it.
Yeah, so
that's another thing.
So it's just like
if you hear yourself say it really be better until you. Yeah.
Yes, it's a few. It's just something that I knew that them W's and R's. I don't know what it was, but I cut myself and I'd be like, yeah. So I try my best to not to say a W or R word.
Well, you keep practicing. That's one reason why I don't like to hear myself talk. Because I be like, dog, I didn't realize I cut words off.
Yeah.
But I think, and this is not to even blame anything on, but it's just my excuse. Well, I'm from the South. You know what I'm saying? So, but at the same time, I can hear it. And if I'm focused, depending on what it is, if I know the subject, then I'm going to speak it, and I'm not going to have a problem with it. But if it's something else, and I'm really thinking, I can mess a word. I can cut up some words.
Yeah, it's starting to, like when I be having serious conversation with friends and stuff like that, I have no problem. But the moment I start overthinking, it's like my tongue just start getting twisted, and I think that's what's really my problem is. The moment I get excited, I just get excited. I don't even be worried about messing up. I just be getting too excited, and I want to get all my points across.
Yeah.
So I just get excited, and I just blend certain ideas or certain sentences in one word, or I just like that didn't even make sense, but I just blend everything in one sentence.
Yeah.
And it's like a complete run-on sentence, so it just be like, Chase, you gotta calm down a little bit.
And that's probably how you got out of your stuttering when you were younger.
Maybe.
Because when you used to see head, my baby, you know, remember we always say you get and you'll start stuttering the most then. But it was like, okay, calm down. You know what I'm saying? You got excited. Calm down. Okay, tell me what you want. You know? So I think that helped a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's what it really is. Just
when you get too excited, then yeah,
a lot of things run across my mind. I just be ready to just blur
let it out. Yeah, that's cool. Well, I give you some still some lessons. I find you some lessons.
Oh man.
Yeah, so that's cool.
How things been going with YouTube?
Awesome. Well, I just got 2 videos out there. Y'all just go subscribe. Hey, a sister needs your support. But you know, it took me a minute to post my first video because I am teaching now, and I'm learning that system of QuickBooks Online, and I'm learning this system called Drake system for the taxes, and also, you know, bookkeeping wise. So I'm learning 3 things all at once. It's like I'm in school with 3 different subjects, and then I'm also being a teacher.
Mm-hmm.
So I wrote the instructions down in my notebook of my taxes, but I've been so focused on the QuickBook, I couldn't find it. And then I finally found it, and boom, I put the first video out. So I posted it on Facebook, and then I just posted my second one last week.
Do you need any help or anything like that? Because I know I don't want to, since I'm here longer, I don't want to make sure that I just throw it on you and let you figure it out. So if you need any help.
If I need help, you know, I'm going to let you know. Because right now at this point, it's watching and analyzing other people's Facebook page. You know, they got it down to, you know, they music, this, that, and other. I want to just put my knowledge out there first. Because I want to get used to getting the information out. You're going to like it or not. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like I did with my Facebook page, lives. So you watch it, cool. You don't, that's cool. But getting my information out there on YouTube, and for that reason, to have a broader audience and stuff is fine right now. And then once I get comfortable and say, hey, now I want to start, you know, boom, playing this or doing that, yeah, and I'll be ready for it. But right now I like it how it is. So just putting the content out there. The rest of the stuff I'm not gonna focus on. You know, I want to get some information out there to those that is looking for it. And so I'm cool with that. My teaching is going great. You know, I got my first check. Hey, I was like, hey, this extra. Excited about that, and also excited about learning taxes. You know,
so how it's been going. Realizing everything starts
is
on one
up.
side,
yeah,
and then you gotta make sure everything balanced. And you're realizing, like, with how you learning QuickBooks, you're able to see the comparison of how they go together with how everything is running with your assets.
right.
Plus liability equals owner's equity. And then once you get all your revenue and expenses, all that, how your expenses can go on your taxes.
Yeah, pretty much what, even though I already knew how to read a balance sheet. I knew I understand asset plus liability equals the equity. That's something not only you learn in my econ, but that was something I learned in grad school because, of course, you know, my MBA is in business.
Right.
So that was all right. Also, we also compared, see, that's where the country come in. This is my excuse. Compared different companies' balance sheets and looked at the company assets and how they grow, you know, to know if they were successful or not in the end of the year. So all of that I done in my grad program. So with the QuickBooks Online, it's basically helping a small company uh, keep up with what their daily duties and be able to read their balance sheet and convey that information to their business, like, giving them advice of what they need to do, who they need to pay, depending on what their needs are. So I could, just get a company and just keep up with inputting certain little things. And each task or whatever, if they need the accounts receivable and accounts payable information and stuff like that, that's more. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to do more things, journal entries. Of course, I had that experience in the journal. So the checking balance and all that, credits and debits, that is something that I already knew. It's just understanding the system of QuickBooks Online from being the accounting standpoint, and then say a business.
Do you know what year book this is? Like, is this?
Yeah, this one is based. Well, it's the 3rd edition. So all the examples though is based. They have you doing the dates of 2018. Okay. So
I was about to say, I wonder if y'all got a new system in there.
Well, QuickBooks Online, like any other software, have updates. Also, the thing I like about QuickBooks, they have training videos. So they teach you how to do stuff. You know what I'm saying? Teach you how to do the, it's a section, charts of accounts.
Mm-hmm.
It's on charts of account, everything that's on your balance sheet is on the, right. Exactly. So
that's always your reference sheet.
Exactly. And any deleting, editing, whatever. So just learning the functions and stuff is something that you just got to get familiar with, and hey, it's exciting. So everything is hand in hand. So as a bookkeeper, eventually I want to get certified in that, because my plan is to
my
have
taxes
my own.
came in.
Yes, I know. I seen them. I just need you to hold on to them. I told 3 to hold on to his till I be ready for y'all. So when you get all your stuff together,
I don't have nothing else.
You don't do mileage or anything. Kevin didn't do that. It's just mainly just straightforward, straight through. Okay. Well, y'all should be easy then.
Yeah, it's easy.
Okay. I thought you had some other things that you put on there.
It was just a few years I didn't file that 1 year, so you had to do that. That previous year, I had mortgage one with the stock market, and then this is just that.
So what about this business right here, your partnership business?
That's Noah handling that. It ain't with me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Noah got majority of the company, so I don't have to do that.
Because, and I only asked that because he made a phone call, because he always schedule clients and stuff around our appointments, so I could see how he speak and talk to them. So when he was here, he had a client that was from Philadelphia, and he's about your age and has a business, and he has a partner, so they like gonna split their profits and stuff.
So like with me, Noah and Hunter, Noah got 40 and me and Hunter got 30.
Oh, okay.
So with the taxes and everything,
He's just gonna do all of that. Okay. Okay, cool. Yeah, y'all should be easy then. Go ahead and I'm gonna get with Kevin and mention that the next time, and he'll probably just have me do y'all's, because since I don't know if he's still gonna charge or know how he want to do that, so I asked him on that aspect. But yeah, other than that, everything's been
how your fitness journey been going?
Oh, great. Of course, now, in my journey, my goal weight is 20. But when we did our last video, the first video of 2020, I decided that I'm not going to focus on 20 pounds. I'm just going to focus on a healthy weight. So today, Well, really, all this week, people have been like, I see you, D. I see you. You know, which made me feel good because I didn't want to just keep getting on the scale and, you know, to see my weight go down. I wanted people to see.
Mm-hmm. So people been seeing.
So people has been seeing. So that's been great. And I, like I told you earlier, last week I did my own little detox, and I only had smoothies and salads. And then this week I just had soup that I made, a ground turkey and vegetable soup. And so I've been feeling the difference. Not only not starving as much, not craving sweets.
Mm-hmm.
And even though this is February, it's Valentine's Day, month, and all this other stuff, because I love candy. I haven't bought any candy for my office, so they really picking up the last. They was like, D, when you go get some more candy? I'm not. I've been doing pretty good. So my plan is not to have any sweets and cheese intake too. So I really can't say bread anymore because I don't do a lot of bread anymore. And now it's the cheese and the sugar. So, but other than that, the journey's been great. I've been still working out and stuff. I might have, like today I missed, but drinking more water, where I use the bathroom more.
Mm-hmm.
And so I have my 1 gallon. So last week when I did the detox, I just brought that with me and see how much I can drink for that one day. I never accomplished drinking it all in one day, but come close. So I was proud of that. You know what I'm saying? I didn't knock myself from it, but just trying to improve and make healthier decisions and better decisions, and get this gut down, because you know this is what my trouble area. But I'm going slowly but surely.
Yeah,
So
I like how you've been consistent with everything.
yeah, when I went to the doctor on Monday, and I'm not afraid to say how much I weighed, and a lot of people probably say it's not a lot, but it's a lot for me. I was 151 in July.
Mm-hmm.
So I noticed too that it's taking me longer, you know, to pull the weight down, which is okay because we had the holidays and I did some cheat days or whatever. But now, like I say, I'm 145. Some days they say 142. You know, I'm gonna stick with the 142 because I can feel it. And so we're gonna go with the 10 pounds. So that's the goal, 15 more pounds. But like I said, I'm not stretching on that. That'll be a good goal weight for me, and healthy weight. But I'm just still focused on, you know, get down or whatever. So
That ain't bad.
yeah.
That's pretty much it. I think that's it. I enjoy it. You ready for next Wednesday?
Oh yeah, I was ready.
I'm gonna make sure we skip it.
Yeah, I don't think we skipped anything.
I know since I was gone a month, there really haven't been too much of an update.
Right. Yeah. Everything's the same this way. I hope you guys get value out of this. It's our life, but also we hope you guys get a better relationship with your daughter or son and all that good stuff. So I was just talking about you too. I was excited. I was telling Kevin, yeah, I can go home and we do our podcast like we always do. So keep
I
doing
enjoyed
you.
your blanket on the road.
Oh, you took it with you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's great.
I took it with me.
Yeah, that's great. I'm glad you're enjoying your Christmas gift. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just a little drove. I left my camera.
That's all right. You had time to play with it next month, you know.
it even make it worse that I'm gonna be home for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
But I'm good. I know once I'm done with this, I'm go to the storage unit, pick up the shoes. Stop by Walmart. I'm gonna stop by Walmart first. Go to Walmart, pick up an SD card because my SD card is with my bag.
Mm-hmm.
So I gotta buy an SD card. I'm gonna be interviewing at Daria this Sunday.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna interview Jazz.
Mhm. That's what's up. See how that life going and what they got going on. That's awesome.
So I'm pretty excited about that too. But I know I gotta buy a couple of memory cards.
Yeah.
But luckily, it's not that expensive though.
And while you here, remind me to pull those pictures and stuff out that I found. Those old pictures I was telling you about.
Mhm.
Remind me to show you.
You wanna do that for next video?
Okay.
Or would you just want me to just pull it out?
Yeah, I just want to pull it out.
Alright then.
Yeah.
Saturday, Sunday, one of those type of days.
Yeah. Mhm.
Gotcha.
Probably on a Sunday. When you hear washing and stuff, you know what I'm saying? We just here chilling. Yeah. Sundays I'm not really doing nothing because I have to work the next day unless I'm grading. But I'm really not grading this week for they're doing chapter 4 and they got to Sunday 11:59 to finish that up. So I try to make sure I grade while they start the next. But I do have some students that like to go early and want me to grade, but I'm like, no. I had one student supposed to have been calling me tonight, but I guess they decided not to, or they get out of class late. They got a night class, so yeah.
Alright, gotta remind you about those photos.
Yeah.
I hope y'all enjoyed this podcast or this episode.
Yeah.
Make sure y'all go give y'all parents or y'all children a hug and tell them you love them.
And give them one, and tell them one thing you admire about that. Yeah.
Y'all have a great day, a great night, and we'll see y'all next Wednesday.
All right.
Peace.
Peace.